So Crystal Dynamics have ruined Lara Croft and changed the iconic bombshell, independent, sociopathic tomb robber into the meek, scared, nerfed, and now manly looking artifact protector. So not only that, but they were brought on board for the next Perfect Dark game, which I don't know how many of y'all know this, but yes, Crystal Dynamics were brought on board for that. And that's why the next Perfect Dark looks like absolute dookie. So let's go ahead and talk about this as we have a developer for Crystal Dynamics who is also a Perfect Dark level designer. And he says gamers were a mistake. So he's attacking gamers. He says we are racist pigs for opposing race swaps. Colby Payne, a level designer at Crystal Dynamics who's working on Perfect Dark, seemingly does not like gamers. Says they were a mistake and attacked those. Dude, you're making video games, but gamers were a mistake. So for the last 2 years, I've been working on Perfect Dark. So excited to show off our gameplay reveal. Now, I made it okay, hold on. I just quote tweeted this before making this video. And I said, I've been saying it was Crystal Dynamics who ruined Joanna Dark. They ruined Lara Croft, and they were brought on to ruin Joe, too. If y'all somehow still have hope for the next mainline Tomb Raider game, all I can do is laugh. The only good things lately are the remasters, which Crystal Dynamics did not make. Now, I know some people can argue and say, hey, this is a level designer, so he didn't ruin Joanna Dark, but it was Crystal Dynamics who were brought on, and I'm telling you, the culture at Crystal Dynamics is on par with what he is saying. I'm not going to say every single employee there, obviously, is woke, but I'm telling you, that is the culture at Crystal Dynamics as a studio. And that's why, like, a lot of people are seeing the abominations that were the Netflix Tomb Raider animation, for example, which had that masculine, lesbianized butch Lara Croft, and who isn't even a Tomb Raider anymore, doesn't steal artifacts anymore. She's a protector of artifacts now. She cries all the time. When Lara Croft wasn't created like that. Also, and obviously the physical nerfs, they continually make her more and more masculine. And some people think, well, that was Netflix that did that, not Crystal Dynamics. And a lot of that was Crystal Dynamics. I've been trying to tell you guys, but I feel like I'm yelling into the void. Now, some of y'all get it. Those who are like hardcore into the community, y'all know the power that Crystal Dynamics has had over the Tomb Raider franchise. A lot of people think that Square Enix was at fault when it came to the remasters. They were like, oh, thank goodness Square Enix is gone. Now Tomb Raider will be good again. But Square Enix just gave Crystal Dynamics free reign to do whatever they wanted. Square Enix didn't really have a whole lot of restrictions on Crystal Dynamics. They just, like I said, they let Crystal Dynamics do whatever they wanted. And that's why we kept getting these issues. And so now with Embracer, who have bought Crystal Dynamics, and the Tomb Raider IP now is the mainline next game is being developed by Crystal Dynamics and it's going to be funded by Amazon. Amazon Games is doing this stuff. So, I mean, that's also a recipe that's not good. We've talked about the leaks, which I 1000% believe are true because of A, the sources, and B, it just lines up with everything. For example, the leaks that told us that they were going to make Lara Croft a lesbian, the leaks that I made so many videos about this, the leaks that were going to put an Indian girl in her place and have her take over Lara Croft, and so on and so forth. That same batch of leaks had the antagonist named Devereaux, and then the Netflix animation comes out and the antagonist is named Devereaux. That is not some John Smith type of name that it's a coincidence. So I 1000% believe these leaks. How many of those leaks will actually translate into the actual game? I don't know, but hold on. Let me see if I can find, there's a statue that the Tomb Raider account announced. Here it is. So there is this statue and it's not necessarily egregious, but it's definitely not Lara Croft. And I do believe that this was modeled after what they have been working in progress for the next mainline game. And I don't know what's going on because they haven't revealed this game that they have been developing for 6 years, maybe even 7 years, and they have not shown anything, but it's just, oh yeah, it's definitely happening. It's definitely happening. Announcement coming soon, but that announcement hasn't happened. And so I do firmly believe that. And if you remember, that leaked, or not even leaked, they revealed, they posted an image of Lara Croft that they used for everything, of her standing, I unplugged my headphones, of her standing there like this, and it looks like a dude, looks like Leon Kennedy. I've made videos about it. You guys have probably seen it circulating everywhere, the image, not necessarily my video. And this looks very similar to that, which, as you can see by this image, that face looks very similar to that. Granted, on this statue, it does look a bit better. I'm not going to say this face is as masculine as that statue, and the face is kind of cool looking at this angle, but it's just simply not Lara Croft. And the physique is so off. It's not Lara Croft. It's just not. And I don't get the whole outfit design, the double straps, everything looks so costumey. They tried to make this like unified Lara Croft, but instead we've got this weird hodgepodge cosplay, and we just don't have Lara Croft. Lara Croft is this tall, 5'9", curvy. I'm fine with some muscle on her because she's rock climbing and stuff, but mostly in the legs. But she needs like some hip curve. She needs a small waist. She needs the big bust. Like, that is her proportions. That's how she's created. And it's not perverted to want a character to look like how she was created. And in this case, we just don't have that. This is very bland. It's not as Troon looking as some of the other stuff we've seen, but it's definitely not Lara Croft. So I know I'm hijacking this video to talk a lot about Lara Croft and Tomb Raider right now, but just saying, I've got to give my conspiracy theories about this. Is I believe that this is what they have been working toward, and we haven't seen any announcements or anything about the next mainline game. Probably, I don't know why, but maybe because there is a little bit of fear about if it would tank and people would just laugh and make a joke out of it. Because Crystal Dynamics are on their last chance, essentially. We've seen Embracer fire a bunch of studios. I mean, look, that bust line is not Lara Croft. It's not. I don't care if you give this bust line to a new female character, even this whole body in general, it's not terrible, but it's not Lara Croft. So I'm just not, it's just frustrating. But anyway, Crystal Dynamics are on their last leg when it comes to, any Tomb Raider game they've made have barely struggled to break even, including the Legend and Anniversary and Underworld trilogy. Nothing they've made has reached expectations. The first game of the reboot trilogy did sell well, but it still didn't meet expectations because of the massive budgets that they put in it. So if this next game tanks, I could see Embracer firing Crystal Dynamics, which I personally think would save Tomb Raider, because right now Tomb Raider is in the hands of people like this. Again, not every person at Crystal Dynamics is woke, but I'll tell you, the culture at the company is very, very woke. Very woke. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if they're perhaps scared to announce anything because based on those leaks, unless they've changed stuff, that would tank so freaking bad. It would not do well. Already with the leaks, they had terrible reception, even from a bunch of the weirdos that have been supporting all this other crap. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I'm curious to know what you guys think and why they're waiting forever for this next announcement. Because like I said, this game has been in development for like 6 or 7 years now. At least 5. So what's the deal? Yeah, they won't announce anything, but they're like, oh, here's all these statues, here's all these like collaborations that they're putting Lara Croft in Dead by Daylight. They've got their reboot Lara in that, and then we've got her in this game, we've got her in that game, we've got that terrible, dreadful Call of Duty Lara Croft that looked like an abomination. So yeah. Anyway, Perfect Dark is cooked, ruined. The next Tomb Raider game, is not going to be good as well. Assuming they even release it. A part of me wonders if they'll even release it. I think that if it wasn't for Amazon funding it and publishing it, I would think that Embracer would just cut the cord and fire Crystal Dynamics already. That's what I would think would be the case, because they don't need Crystal Dynamics. They have these remasters projects that have been developed by Saber and published by Aspyr, handed off to them. And those have been a massive success. We've got 4 through 6 coming out soon. They actually hired fans for those projects. So they're making something for the fans, and the fans are buying it. And it's making money. It's making a lot of money. It's a huge success, and it doesn't cost a massive budget to make those. So they don't need Crystal Dynamics, Crystal Dynamics, here's their thing, is they need, and I can expect to see this in the next Perfect Dark game as well. What we're going to see for the next Perfect Dark game, I can already tell you, is going to be a dramatic and emotional story. You're going to see Joanna Dark cry, and you're going to see it turn into an emotional story, instead of just, oh, here is this cool futuristic spy type girl and she's kicking butt. No, you're going to see a dramatic story. You're going to see her cry. You're going to see her get broken down emotionally. And you're going to see her look like a dude. That's it. And the gameplay is going to be, essentially it's going to be centered around cutscenes. It's going to be centered around those overly emotional and dramatic cutscenes. That's the whole point of everything. The gameplay is going to be this hub where it's not like quite open world, but it's kind of have open world elements. And you're going to have like collectibles, things like that. You're going to have stat points that you put on things that are completely unnecessary for the game in general. This is what I anticipate. Obviously I could be a little wrong, but this is what I anticipate for the next game. Just knowing the formula that Crystal Dynamics uses, and the only formula that they really know how to use, and they can't really venture that far from it. But I know at the very least it will be centered around a dramatic story, and we will be seeing Joanna Dark cry. And yeah, so now we get an ugly Joanna Dark who cries instead of a cool and beautiful Joanna Dark who kicks butt. She might have her kick butt moments, but it's just going to be so uninspiring when it comes out of that dude looking model. And yeah. So anyway, there you have it for this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. As always, if you want me to read the Bible to you, you can check out my Bible channel at Bible Time with Melanie Mack. Thank you all again for watching. I'll catch you next time. And in the meantime, go boom.